Thanks a lot, Andre. This is a very warm welcome indeed. So I would like to extend also from my side a very warm welcome to this workshop on which we have great expectations. So it's called Shaping the EU Mission Caring for Soils is Caring for Life. So you already had a bit of an introduction to myself. So where I work, I'm responsible for shaping indeed research and innovation and the EIP, but my unit was also responsible for the EU Mission Secretariat. So we have accompanied this process for the last 2 years now. And this is now a moment in time where we can go broad, where we can exchange, where we can have your views. And this is really the theme of the day. So maybe just a word on what are missions. So missions are really supposed to be a completely new instrument, and I think they really are, for research and innovation under the forthcoming program Horizon Europe. They are meant to increase the impact of research funding and strengthening the links between research and policy priorities. But what I think is really important, I mean, we always have this example that you've all heard, getting a man on the moon, but there's something about it because it's really a set of targeted, bold actions which should actually tackle a societal challenge. And when we set out on this journey 2 years ago, there were a huge number of suggestions. What should the missions actually tackle, reaching from quantum computing to cancer and to I don't know what. So at that time, we were thinking, well, shouldn't we do something about soils? And many people at that time said, well, you know, soils, is that sexy enough? It's quite unknown. People don't really know a lot about soils and so on. So at that point, we were saying all the more so. So it's true that this is basically the very resource that we all depend on. We couldn't live without healthy soils, without food, or without water recycling, climate storage, and all the functions that soils deliver to us. This is absolutely essential, and all the more so. So we at that time decided that we believe it's just as important as bringing a man to the moon, putting people's feet safely on the ground on healthy soils. And we really need to tackle that because we have an issue there. And then we were really happy that indeed the Commission decided that that would be one of the 5 areas that was selected from all of those proposed, and we would go forward with this. So this is when the whole journey started. So up until now, and the actually presentation of the report by a mission board end of September, we've done a huge amount of stakeholder events all around Europe to make sure that soils gets the topic of the day. We've used the World Soil Day and other things. And I mean, now we're at the point where the mission board has actually presented a report with clear targets and objectives. And I think it's a good time actually to discuss together. So the mission focuses on soil health as a means to tackle main challenges such as food security, food safety, climate change, biodiversity loss. And as you can imagine, this is highly relevant for the Green Deal as well. So we're right at the heart of the center of the discussions on what the Green Deal should be for the future of Europe. And the mission has been mentioned in both the biodiversity strategy and the farm to fork strategy. And so we have quite an important framing also with regards to the major European strategies in this regard. Sometimes we kind of arrogantly say that the soil mission is the mother of all the other missions, because it's true, if we don't prevent the leaking of harmful substances into the oceans, we can't have healthy oceans. If we don't store more carbon, we can't have climate, or we can't have an impact on climate. If we do not produce healthy food with healthy soils, we can probably have less impact on cancer. So it's really, soil is at the center of all those challenges that we're supposed to tackle in the future. So, and the mission also comes because I'm from DG Agriculture and Rural Development. So of course, I also have to make the link to the future Common Agriculture Policy. And the mission comes in a very good time where we're about to shape also the Common Agriculture Policy. And I think the mission is very much about also changing ways in which we work and do something different before. Create a movement so all the puzzles come together on soil, so that we don't have the GRC that does a soil observatory on its own. We do a program here, and the CUP does tackle soil practices there. The aim is really to bring all of this together and to create synergies. And if we, for instance, think now about, okay, we do research and innovation, we do a bit of demonstration, we do something around lighthouses and living labs. Well, if it works, why don't we scale it up under the CUP? So this is the sort of movement and synergies that we want to create to really make sure that we have an impact. So because we've been working on the areas for years, but how much impact have we actually achieved? So I'm very happy that actually today we have two of our mission board members, and maybe I should say just one little word about the mission board. That is also something new, because we have been realistic, saying at the Commission, European Commission, we're civil servants, but we're really not the experts in the field. So we should get the expertise out there. So we got the expert from a mission board, where we selected members, a bit like the EIP method actually, and not only scientists and innovators, but also business makers, also farmers, also communicators, also citizens engagement specialists, that all came together. So we had 15 wise men and women that actually did the work for the Commission and did come up with this report, which actually bridges all those scientists, all those communities, and not only the scientific one. And I think that was important. So maybe you will already see that some of the things that are important for practice are included there. And we have two of our mission board members here with us today, Bridget Emmett and Alfred Gant, which actually represent science and practice very, very, very good. And we also have two members of the Mission Assembly, which was the wider advisory body, where I have Pandit Druli, and we also have John Gilliland, so who is a lighthouse farmer himself. So I think we're well represented. So your input will be very timely, both for Horizon Europe and the new CUP, which are about to start. So we're right now discussing with the member states also the big orientations for research. So this is the right moment to assess whether we are sufficiently addressing needs from practice. So have we already looked at this or not? Do we need something else? What do we need to reinforce? What should we do to get together the information about lighthouses and living labs? What is already out there? Where is something missing? Where do we need to act? So all of this we want to hear from you today. I'm looking very much forward to discussions and outcomes of this workshop. And I think it's now time to hand over to Pakum, Eyenga, and Pandi, who will give you more information about the meeting will roll out in practice. So thanks a lot.